In this video, I'll be exploring one of the properties available within the list rows Dataverse action, named as return full metadata. So just to show you in action, I have already created a Power Automate flow named as explore full metadata. I will just trigger it manually for time being. Now I'm going to search for list rows action for a Dataverse. So Microsoft Dataverse premium connector. So if I click over here, list row, so I can fetch the data from a table, specify columns, specify filter rows, sort by, fetch XML query, row count, etc. However, if you scroll down over here, you will see something called as return full metadata. So let me put this option over here and show it to you. So I'll be talking explicitly about this particular property. Now, return full metadata, basically the header parameter to customer to opt in, returning full O data metadata in the response. Now, what exactly it is, we will just explore that. First, let's forget about return full metadata and let's do our normal operation. So let me pick up a table. Now I have already created within my solution a table named as airlines, and airline has a lot of columns. So it has column of type, multiple lines of text, choice. You can see a lot of lookup, choice, whole number, etc. Right? And this is like a model driven app which basically serves that table. Now let me pick up the airline table over here. So this is the airline table, gcop underscore airlines. And I will not pick up any column. I will not pick up filter rows. I will maybe in the row count, maybe I'll just say, just give me say 15 items. And I'll just click on save draft. So this is how we normally do when we return any item from the Dataverse connectors list rows. So here the row count, I'm just limiting the response because if the table has more than say 100 records, I will be unnecessarily querying the database and getting all those records set. So I'm this is the first line of action which I'm performing so that I can restrict the record set. Okay, all good. Let's go ahead and run it. And I've run this flow. It has ran successfully. So if I see the list rows over here, it will return me list of items. So if I go to show raw outputs, I will copy the JSON and I will use it in one of the application JSON grid. And here I will just say, oh, there's so many things which has been written. Now, this is all items. So this is the first item, the value from here, you will see this is the first item. Like that, you will see the second item. So this is the second item, right? And then if you want to see in the table, I can see this value clearly that these are the items, and I can go ahead over here and I will just say, so let me scroll it for you. And these are the list of columns which it has written. Now, technically you're not going to use all this thing. Maybe you might be using say the name of the airlines, or maybe the email address, or maybe some value, right? So for that, what you need to do is like you need to exactly specify the column name. So let's pick up the column name, so gcop underscore name. So I just want the name to be returned. So let me go to the flow, click on edit, and let's pick up some column which we just want. So I will just say gcop underscore name. That's the first one I want. Then let me pick up expansion status. So this is a choice column. So I will pick up the logical name of that expansion status. So let me pick up the name, the logical name of that. And let me pick up another column which is of type, again let's pick up choice. So if I have anything, yeah, network alliance. So gcop underscore network alliance. So let me take this items. So I just want three different columns, and I will just click on save draft, test, manually, publish and test, run the flow. Done. And now let's see the output. To go to show raw outputs. Now this particular output looks pretty much cleaner. Now, as you see in the previous value for one item, I got so many columns, right? Now, if I just paste this value, I got a limited set of response. So I only asked for a very few items and I got the very few items listed over here. So as you see, I got one, two, three, five items in the first item. Then there are like seven or eight over here. And then so on and so forth. So as you see over here, for some there is three, for some there is five. So I got all those response back. Now you might have seen that for some I can see expansion status over here. For some I don't see the expansion status right for here, because if you haven't put expansion status field, you will not see that. Similarly for network alliance, it is here, but it is not here. So that means Power Automate has automatically decided that if the value doesn't exist, it will not show that in the response. So that is good. But let's pick up the one which has all the values. So say, let's pick up this record set. Now this has name, which we are happy. It has got airlines ID, so it has additionally given you the identifier of that record set. We haven't asked for it, but that's fine. Then we have expansion status. So if you see here, expansion status has two particular rows, right? One is the display name. So if I just scroll to the right, let me see if I can scroll. Yeah, I'm just interested in this value, right? Not started on one word. I don't want this number. But it has still given me all these options, right? So what will happen over here is like we have just selected the column and it has given me a limited set of options over here, right? Now what this return full metadata does is, like, if you see this value, this is like an o data value, right? So let me show you this particular component. So if you watch this gcop underscore expansion status, so this is that choice value. It is that o data reference point, right? So it uh, creates two column. One is for the actual value and another is for the id of that specific choice option. So this is that o data reference. Now if we do not want all this thing to return, then what we can do is we can go ahead over here in the flow, and we just need to pick up return full metadata, and return full metadata, the header parameter to customer to opt in. Now I will say return full metadata as no. I don't want the full metadata. Let's click on save draft, test, manually, publish and test, run the flow. Show raw outputs. Now, if you see over here, this one, so there's gcop underscore expansion status, then there is gcop underscore network alliance, so there's a formatted value. And if you compare this now with the table listed over here, so let me just scroll it down a bit. Okay, so there are five items over here, and as you see over here, so there are like five items over here. Now so this is one of the option. Now if I just close this, and now if I go ahead and edit, earlier there was no value over here. For written full metadata is no. Now if I pick up and say yes, let me click on save draft, yes, test, manually, publish and test, run the flow, done, show raw outputs. And now if you see the value over here, it has given me some more value. Now we set written full metadata as yes. So what it has technically done is, this is the name of the airline, this is the choice value, expansion status. So it has given me that expansion status. It has given me the other choice option like network alliance, etc. But apart from that, it has given me this o data value as well. Now this o data value does get appended with every items, right? Now if you do not want that come to as a part of the response, then you get to pick up and choose written full metadata as yes. So if you explicitly specify written full metadata as yes, then you will be getting this response back. So comparing over here, so let me copy this and put it in the JSON grid over here, paste it. And if I just scroll up, and now if you see the body, this is returning me all the OData references. So if I go to body, if I go to value, now as you see, you get this column odata.type, odata.id, odata.etag, odata.edit link, and so on and so forth. So and depending on whatever items you have, now if you do not have any items within your system, it will only return this odata and the name and the ID. Now this is a very pure example because it does not have a choice column data attached to it. But for others where the choice data column is attached, now this is an example which it has expansion status and network alliance record set defined, and that's why it is showing me all this thing. So summary, if you want to get the information of odata.type, odata.id, odata etag, odata edit link, anything related to odata, put written full metadata as yes in your Power Automate flow. So that's the whole purpose of list rows within Microsoft Power Automate. So where to get that option? So if I edit the list rows action, you will be able to see written full metadata as one of the properties while uh, using the action. Now there are multiple ways to restrict the response. So first is you can put written full metadata as no, so that you don't get the O data related response. Then we have this row count, so we can restrict like whatever items we want. Just let's not keep it blank, because if you keep it blank it will give you all the record set. So if you want one item, two item, five item, just limit that. Also it is always better to use fetch xml query so that your query is optimized, it has a filter component and it gives you that correct result. Also if you want to filter out, you can write the filter condition. If you're not using the fetch xml query, use the filter rows over here and pick and choose whatever column you want. Now in the first example I didn't put anything over here, and that's why it has written me all the rows, which definitely you're not going to use within your application for any of the flows, right? You may only pick and choose one or two columns and then operate on that column and then get the result of that column expression, right? So if you want to use and get all the O data related information, mark written full metadata as yes in your Power Automate flow. So that's it, folks. Thanks for watching.